International Convention for the Prevention of Pollution from Ships, MARPOL 73-78. Adoption 1973 Convention, 1978 Protocol, 1997 Protocol, Annex 6, Entry into Force October 2, 1983, Annexes 1 and 2. The International Convention for the Ship for the Prevention of the Pollution from Ships, MARPOL, is the main international convention covering prevention of pollution of the marine environment by ships from operational or accidental causes. The MARPOL Convention was adopted on November 2, 1973 at IMO. The Protocol of the 1978 was adopted in response to a spate of tanker accidents in 1976 to 1997. As the 1973 MARPOL Convention had not yet entered into force, the 1973 MARPOL Protocol absorbed the parent convention. The combined instrument entered into force on 2 October 1983. In 1997, a protocol was adopted to amend the convention and a new Annex 6 was added which entered into force on 19 May 2005. MARPOL has been updated by amendments through the years. The convention includes regulation aimed at preventing and minimizing pollution from ships, both accidental pollution and that from routine operations, and currently included 6 technical annexes, special areas, and strict controls on operation discharge are included in the most annexes. So let's talk about Annex Regulation 1 for the prevention of pollution by oil. It entered into force 2 October 1983. Covers prevention of pollution by oil from operation measures as well as from accidental discharges. The 1992 amendments to Annex 1 made it mandatory for new oil tankers to have double hulls and brought it in pace in schedule for existing tankers to fit double hulls, which was subsequently revised in 2001 and 2003. And let's talk about Annex 2 regulation for the control of pollution by noxious liquid substances in bulk, entered into force 2 October 1983. So, details the discharge of criteria and measures for the control of pollution by noxious liquid substances carried in bulk. Some 250 substances were evaluated and included in the list appended to the convention. The discharge of the residues is allowed only to reception facilities until certain concentration and conditions which vary with the category of substances are complied with. Annex 3, Prevention of Pollution by Harmful Substances carried by sea in package from entered into force 1 July 1992. Contains general requirements for the issuing of detailed substandards on packing, marking, labeling, documentation, stowage, quantity, limitation, exceptions, and notification. For those purpose of Annex, harmful substances are those substances which are identified as marine pollutants in the International Maritime Dangerous Goods Code (IMDG) code or which meet the criteria into the appendix. Annex 4, Prevention of Pollution by sewage from ships entered into force 27 September 2003. Contains requirements to control pollution of the sea by sewage. The discharge of sewage into sea is prohibited except when the ship has operation an approved sewage treatment plant or when the ship is discharging comminuted and disinfected sewage using an approved system at a distance of more than 3 nautical miles from the nearest land. Sewage which is not comminuted or disinfected has to be discharged at a distance of more than 12 nautical miles from the nearest land. Annex 5. Prevention of pollution by garbage from ships entered into force this 31 December of 1988. Deals with different types of garbage and specifies the distance from land and the manner in which they may be disposed of. The most important feature of Annex is the complete ban imposed on the disposal into sea of all forms of plastics. Annex 6. Prevention of air pollution from ships entered into force 19 May 2005. Set limits on a sulfur oxide and nitrogen oxide emissions from ship exhaust and prohibits deliberate emissions of ozone depleting substances, designated emission control areas, and more stringent standards for SOx, NOx, and chapter particulate matter. A chapter adopted into 2001 covers mandatory technical and operational energy efficiency measures aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions from ships. So this is the summary of MARPOL. So let's discuss again. MARPOL is the main international convention aimed at the prevention of pollution from ships caused by operational or accidental causes. It was adopted at the International Maritime Organization (IMO) in 1973. The Protocol of 1978 was adopted in response to a number of tanker accidents in 1976 to 1997. The 1978 Protocol was absorbed into the parent convention and the combined instrument entered into force in 1983. In the 1997, a protocol was adopted to amend the convention. Of a new Annex 6 was added which came into force in May 2005. The technical requirements of MARPOL are included in 6 separate annexes. Annex 1, Regulations for the Prevention of Pollution by Oil. Annex 2, Regulations for the Control of Pollutions by Noxious Liquid Substances in Bulk. Annex 3, Prevention of Pollution by Harmful Substances carried in sea in package form. Annex 4, Prevention of Pollution by Sewage from Ships. Annex 6, Prevention of Pollution by Garbage from Ships. Annex 6, Prevention of Air Pollution from Ships. Thank you.